what do you want to accomplish? I mean, obviously you want to win, but like, what are your?
Well, you play in these tournaments to get a good early season test of exactly where you're at, what you need to work on, what you're good at this point.
Right.
You're playing against high-level competition, 3 games in 4 days. So it puts a little stress and adversity on your guys no matter what, even if you're winning games.
Right.
Quick turnarounds. You really have to concentrate on what the key things to focus on in each game because you don't have a lot of prep time. So it's good for our guys, and it's good for us as coaches too to try to figure out the best ways to put our guys in position to be successful.
Playing on a neutral floor, you're not only facing a gauntlet of better talent, but you're doing it on a neutral floor. So I guess that's got to help as you get later on in the year.
There's no question about it. Again, you have a 4-day, as I always say, snapshot of where you're at that particular time. Did you improve during the tournament? Did you continue to play better? You had the opportunity to open up with Marquette, who over the last 10 years has been as successful as probably any program in the country except for 2 or 3. You know what I mean? So they've been a perennial top 20 team. And then you turn around and who you face in the second round, who you face in the third round. So on a neutral court, it really puts you in difficult situations, which is good for our guys at this particular point in the season.
Are there 1 or 2 things that you really do want to see how you guys stand up against in particular?
Well, again, we look at our core values of what we need to do to be successful. We have to rebound the ball, we have to force low percentage shots, and we have to have a really good assist to turnover ratio. We need to take care of the ball. With those 3 things, then it puts you in a position as if you concentrate and do well in those 3 areas throughout the year, you're going to continue to improve.
Right. What Josh has done at the point so far, I mean, an 18-to-1 assist to turnover ratio is just remarkable.
Well, he's been tremendous, and thrown into a little bit of the fire with the second game with us sitting out Travis. Those 2 guys have done a great job for us at that position, and I think when one's only a freshman, one's a sophomore, now you're looking at and Ken and I talked earlier, I think those 2 guys in some situations are going to be playing more together, especially as you face teams that maybe pressure more and different things like that. And so I'm very pleased with that position at this point. It's early in the year, and both those guys need to continue to improve.
And you see, do they run it? Is there a difference between the way they run the floor? Do you prefer like one maybe push the ball, maybe one pushes it more? Or
well, you know what? I always think Josh can push it a little harder, but our transition game has been good with both of them in, and they both see the court well, and they both have the mentality of getting other people shots, and so I think that's overall for our movement on offense and our ability to attack other teams' defenses. I think those 2 guys have done a really good job.
Do you know what Josh's turnover was? Do you remember?
He's had a couple near turnovers. No, I usually have a pretty good memory on stuff like that. But no, I don't remember the 1 turnover.
With so many new pieces, I don't know if you're past this point yet, but is it helpful? Do you look at this time as a way for you guys to be apart from each other, kind of like the training camp almost, and just get to know each other?
Yeah, and I think any time that you're able to do that as a team, it's beneficial. To get away, you spend a holiday together. Right. So I think that's really good. Our chemistry is good. I think, as I said earlier, our chemistry on the court needs to continue to improve. But we have a lot of team guys and so forth, and that's an everyday thing to work on. Okay, is the chemistry of the team, the unselfishness of the team, the sacrifice of the players. That's something, good or bad in this day and age, you need to work on and communicate with the players about every single day.
DeMarco and Chuck have both been huge on the boards, and I guess so far, it's more than a trend now.
Well, let's hope it continues, because it's going to be important in this weekend coming up and in the games that follow. But we've done a good job rebounding the ball, both defensively, limiting teams to 1 shot, and then obviously getting extra possessions with offensive rebounds as well. So one thing I always say is those two guys are doing a great job. I'm never satisfied with the guard rebounds. We always want the guards to come back and get more, because that ignites your fast break even more when you get some of those guard rebounds.
You mentioned that you didn't remember the one turnover that
Josh
I
had.
can't remember what I'm talking about. You want guys to have a short memory.
So
I guess it's a good thing you didn't remember.
You know what, and that's one thing that we need to improve on. Is, you know, sometimes, especially at this phase and where we're at in the process, guys want it very badly. Okay, they want to be successful very badly, and which is good. That's a good thing. But the mistakes are going to be made. You know, basketball is a game of mistakes, but basketball can't be a game of excuses for those mistakes. At the same time, you have to move on to the next play. You miss a free throw, you got to make the next one. You miss a coverage, you got to get a stop on the next one, or you don't give up within that play. And that's an area sometimes that we, you know, I just get a feel that we, because it's important when we make a mistake, we don't bounce back, and that's something that we need to get better at.
What's kind of your plan been for Thanksgiving with the teams in the past?
Well, you know, it all depends. You know, the holiday you get, if you're a basketball coach or a basketball player, is July 4th. That's the one holiday that you get. That's it, you know, because you're playing over Thanksgiving. You get a short break, 2 or 3 days over Christmas. You know, so we'll go out there and we'll prepare for the game. It's going to be hard to have Thanksgiving dinner on, you know, since we play at, you know, 8:30, 9 o'clock. But, you know, they'll have a banquet the night before, and that will be your traditional Thanksgiving dinner. And, you know, we always make sure our guys, we get together as a team and everybody, you know, verbalizes to the rest of the team what they're thankful for. You know, and I think that's always a good thing, because, you know, we're a family and we're supposed to be a family, but sometimes, you know, letting people know what you're thankful for at this time of the year is important.
If I could change the subject a little bit, obviously, don't look too far ahead, but you playing against Marquette, obviously you're a Tom Izzo disciple against a Coach K disciple. And not to make it a moratorium on Coach K versus Coach Izzo, but how much do you think that personalities of each rub off on?
A lot. If you know, I don't know how long Wojo obviously played for him and was an assistant there, maybe 10 or 11 years. I was with Coach Izzo for 10 years. You know, you take on a lot of those personality traits, some good, some bad, you know, but that's the way it is. And I think, you know, I think your identity as a team a lot of times flows from your roots, and you put your own mark on it, and there's some differences, but a lot of the core stuff, a lot of the foundational stuff comes from, you know, who you learned under.